Welcome, Coach Jerry here. For those of you that are new in the group, this is Coach Jerry. I help ladies over 40 rebalance their metabolism, finally looking and feeling amazing and breaking their weight plateau. Now, amongst the people we help the most, there are very highly successful, busy, either professional or entrepreneur that are usually very sound in everything that they have going on in their life, career, even relationships. Yet they suffer from this excess stress that they have, and it doesn't allow them to get rid of the excess fat, and of course to rebalance, and change their body composition, because one, they have this problem about adrenal hormones and everything. And the second thing that they have going on is because their constant grinding is taking all the energy up, right? So they're not able to change the way they see themselves. They're not able to have the energy and be productive in their work like they used to, and they're not able to no longer see what they used to see like maybe 20 or 10 years ago. Now, one of the things that they suffer the most, that they are struggling with the most, is really this emotional eating or stress eating, especially at night. They either wake up and in the middle of the night and they feel like they have to eat, otherwise they are not gonna be able to fall asleep, or they kind of like save the calorie for the evening, and then they feel like it's all that they have an addiction towards food. And while there are so many reasons why this happens, food addiction is usually not one of them. And the reason that mostly this happens is because they feel like they just say this is just gonna be an extra bite, and then they end up eating the whole bag, right? That was me as well so many times. It's like you say you're gonna eat just one chip, and then you finish the whole bag, and you're like in autopilot. You're just eating and eating and eating, and last thing you know is like like 5 minutes after you're done with the whole bag. And usually it's because there is a trigger that is unaddressed. Okay, so the trigger that is unaddressed is like you either don't realize that you're doing it, or you feel like again, like you're at the mercy of food, right? So what I'd like for you to do, like what they do normally, it's like they say, okay, I'm addicted to food. So what am I gonna do? I have to like eliminate this kind of food, and this never works, because you say I'm gonna do best next time. You don't really have a plan, right? And usually it's about starting developing a plan, right. And what I created here for you is like this, what is called the 5-minute stop and switch technique, which, number one, you need to realize that you're doing this thing, right? When you realize that you're doing this thing, it's like, what is the trigger? Am I emotional right now? Am I stressed? Am I bored? Why am I even eating, right? And this is usually step number one. Step number two is like pause and breathe. Okay, it has to do with meditation, but it's mostly feeling your breathing. Allow you to feel the emotion, right? To really understand if you're hungry or if you're psychologically hungry. Number three, drink a glass of water, because for the most part, when you're hungry, you missing liquid, like you're really thirsty in a way, right? Usually, instead, when you're thirsty, is because sometimes your body misses food, like you actually missing the food. Now, the number three is like, sorry, number four is it's then when you realize that after the water, like when you drink the water, it's still something that's not enough. You need to switch the action, right? You either need to go for a walk. If it's evening, you can put on some music and dance. You can journal. You can do something, but for 2 minutes. And all this thing I just described needs to be done for at least 1 minute. So after 5 minutes, if you're really gonna be hungry, it means like whether you are giving into a particular food, maybe psychologically you actually need it right now, or maybe you're hungry and you haven't ate throughout the day. Therefore, like you might just need something out, but you're able to make wisest choices, right? Now, this is a guide which I created, right? So if you comment down below 5-minute stop and switch technique, I'll send it over to you. But what I can do even better, which is useful, more useful, because the reality is that a lot of people feel like, okay, I'm just gonna download the guide and I'm gonna apply it. The problem is that hardly ever you can understand what the trigger is. So you need to understand what the trigger is for you, and therefore, when you realize the trigger, then we're able to address it, right? So what I want you to do is comment down below 5 minute 5 minute stop and switch technique, and we'll find a way to have a chat, and we'll discuss what is your trigger for the most part. Because when you understand that, you're able then to make 80-90% of the time the right decision, therefore to change your body composition. Coach Jerry here, talk to you soon.